Hey, what's happening everyone? Journeyman here and welcome back to the Puritans. Today is episode 15 of our time here at Banbury United. So we're going to start the episode with a annual youth intake. Now last year's was pretty decent. We got Russell Bradbrook, we got Zach Quain, we got Marcus Johnson. We got some good players. Some of them already making an impact in the first team. So take a look and see what we got this time around. I'm not expecting miracles. Again, we got one decent one. I'm not expecting anyone good. And it looks like we actually have a couple of nice pieces already. I can see that we'll go by star potential. Starting off 2 stars. Here we go. Chris Vicente. He can cross a ball. Indeed, he can cross a ball. Not bad at all. Still got a lot of work to do before he gets a first team regular. But yes, we'll give him, of course, a deal. Next up, Liam Walker. Another left winger. This guy's got low self-belief, so I'm gonna have to pair him up with somebody to try and make the most of his abilities. Lots of pace, very aggressive, good work rates, and can dribble a little bit. Got an okay first touch. Passing, well, we're not going to talk about that, but you never know, the guy might turn out to be semi or quasi useful. Next up, we got Kyle Baron Nielsen. Alright, so another winger. Pacey, bravery's good, determination's good, flair is excellent. So he's an exciting player to watch. Crossing 6, dribbling 6. Not great in other departments, but he argues with officials too. That's not exactly the best trait in the world, but you know what? Who doesn't argue with officials nowadays? Alright, and we have a first non-winger, Russell Finley, an attacking central midfielder. Can also play as a regular old centre midfielder. Definitely a playmaking type. Vision's a 9, flair 7, decision-making 13. That's not bad. Passing's pretty good at 10. Technique, first touch. The guy could actually be pretty good. He's committed, apparently. Light-hearted personality. Physicals, well, they kind of suck. He's not fast. He's not strong. A little on the slight side as well at 5'9", 132 pounds. Not exactly the biggest bloke in the world. Good fitness levels and good stamina already, though. So, well, of course, we'll give him a deal. We'll give him a run out in the reserves and the 19 teams. See if he can definitely improve those physicals. All right, next one up, Sunday Atuhu. Apparently, he's a bit more of a striker. Physicals, excellent. Very, very quick. 14 acceleration, 14 pace. Finishing's 13, which is excellent. Termination 13. Very aggressive player. Can also play left wing as well because every one of our players seems to be a winger. Apart from that, looking okay. It looks okay indeed. Avoids using the weaker foot. He's a left only. That's really all I have to say about him. Next up, goalkeeper Dave Harrison. He's a normal looking bloke, 5'11". Nothing too spectacular about him, but he looks like he could be a decent keeper in the future. 15 years old. Of course, we're going to give him a deal. All right, we got a left back now, Jack Norwell. Sorry, a right back, I should say. Right back. I can also play left back. Physicals, kind of so-so. Mental attributes, yeah. Technical, not so good either. It's a fairly professional attitude though, so for that reason, we'll give him a deal. Next up, Matt Small, who is a right winger. Ironically, not that small, 6'1". Actually, I'm not going to give him a deal. I'm not happy with his technicals. There's nowhere near where it needs to be. Mentally, not so much. Physically, is okay. But apart from that, I'm not going to give him a deal quite yet. We'll have to see what happens when he plays some games for the under-18 side. Next up, Ollie Peel. Ooh, wow. I haven't seen that many ones since I was in school, to be honest with you. Appalling. Absolutely appalling. He's not getting a deal. Next up, Graham White. I'm not happy with him either. He's not getting a deal. Alright, I've looked for the rest of them, and this is the only other guy I'm going to give a deal to. Tom Dawson. His versatility and his mental attributes are pretty impressive. So you know what? We'll give him a deal. The rest of them, though, they can stay on trial with the unlikely chance of them getting a deal anytime soon. Alright, we have some transfers to announce. Since the last time you joined us, we signed Joe McNulty, a centre-half. He gets a blanket appearance for the first team. Impressed me on trial. Looks like a pretty solid all-around centre-half. Highly recommended for my scout. So he's come in on a freebie. Then we signed Joel Ulrich, who is a very, very talented centre midfielder on loan from Wrexham for the rest of the year. Only made one appearance coming off the bench thus far, but this guy is uber talented. I can already tell he's going to turn into a little bit of a wonder kid at this level. Then we signed Lee Beavers, the very experienced fullback. Can also play centre-half as well. Played for Dulwich Hamlet last year in an equal division, and play for a lot of teams. Play for me numerous times over the years for manager style. He was just a very solid player. Happy to have him on board. All right, and today we got a very big game up against Farnborough. They currently sit top of the table, and we have slipped a little bit since the last time you joined us. We were hanging out around the 5th, 4th place spots, but unfortunately a run of poor results has kind of put us in a situation now where we're playing catch-up to try and make the playoffs. Since the last time you joined us, which was, I believe, the Ketchman game and the first week of January, we've only won 3 games and lost 4, only draw 1. Unfortunately, goals have dried up for us, and we're facing that second half of the campaign syndrome once again, just like we did last year. But going into today's game, I've made a slight tactical tweak. I've pushed Joachim Delaney forward in order to try and generate some more attacking threat and more support for the striker because they've been left a little bit isolated. So I've moved a little bit more forward. Joachim and Delaney will play inside forwards. Smith and Yeomans, because of that, I'm going to have them on support. This is much more attacking. Definitely not what I'm used to per se, but you know what, we're gonna give it a go today. This is the first team lineup I'm going to go with up against Farnborough. Britt's going to be in goal, of course. Smith at right back. Fortune Nelson, of course, is out for the rest of the year. We're missing him. Williams and Holland, or Spider-Man, through the middle. Jan Yeomans at left back, Jack Finch, Wiltshire, and Dasani has come back in the side and done very well for himself. 3 assists in only 8 appearances for him, been exceptional in that midfield role. Then we have Delaney, Joachim, of course, in those attacking winger roles, with Jonathan Rafulu leading the line again. So on the bench, plenty of options there to work with. Bradbrook, Knights, Magunda, Ulrich, Johnson. Lee Beavers actually come in instead of Smith. Dixon's kind of fell out of favour a little bit, as is George Corp and Shabazz Amofi. So going into today's game up against Farnborough, this is a game I just want to get something from. We got to get some positive momentum going forward. I'm taking a little bit of a gamble, switching my style up. I've been very consistent with it all season long, and it worked for the large part, but most recently I don't want to fall into the same problem of last year where you just fell off the face of the earth. We got a chance to get promoted this year, and I want to take it. I want to grab it with both hands. All right, so here we go up against the Farnborough at home. Come on, boys, let's get ourselves a win. All right, first highlight of the game. Only taking 15 minutes to get one. Here's Wafulu now. Gives the ball away cheaply. I'm used to saying that. Used to seeing that. Ball's hit long there. Williams as well to deal with it. There's Yeomans. Back to Joachim. To Dasani. Dasani back to Joachim. Good football. But here's a long ball, though. Brennan's now through. Holds the ball up. We've closed them down well. Forced them backwards. So we can at least say that. That's a great ball forward. And it's a penalty. Williams brings whoever it was down in the box. Jesus Christ, we give away far too many penalties. Here's the lead now from the spot. Straight down the middle of the goal. Bill Brett didn't even bother to move. All right, so 1-0 down within 16 minutes of the game. I got uphill battle here. Oh, Will, what the hell was that, son? All right, so it is halftime here, and we actually came back in the game a little bit more. Didn't create any really clear-cut chances, any highlights to really talk about, but we played much better. I made a slight tactical tweak, again, around the 25th minute mark. I basically switched my fullbacks to support and attack and back to fullback off wing back. So that's helped out a little bit, but we're still not getting... We're still not achieving what I want to achieve. So I'm going to switch things on a little bit here. I'm actually going to have Delaney play a bit more of a classic winger. Joachim's going to tuck inside, and Yeomans is going to push up to support Joachim as he tucks inside. Wafulu is struggling. He is playing atrociously. So we're going to bring on Marcus Johnson as a defensive forward to go up top here. I'm also bring on Ulrich as well for Sane, who's been, well, average at best. So I'm also going to have on Mazzalo as well, just to give some support here, because obviously these two bumming forward, there's a big gap there, and Ulrich should be able to help out. All right, so here we go in the second half here, obviously 1-0 down. We're now slipped to 8th place in the table, 3 points behind 5th, and they have a game in hand over us. We need to get something out of this game desperately. All right, making a change here. Again, last kind of throw the dice kind of situation here. I'm going to bring off Delaney, and I'm going to bring on Darrell Knights instead. A bit more of an out-and-out winger there compared to Delaney, a bit more natural in that role. And I'm also going to switch to attack as well, because again, it's very important we get something out of the day. All right, here is a highlight now. First highlight of the second half. Ball gets launched forward. Harden with the interception. There's Darrell Knights, though, sweeping up the play. Here's Ulrich to Joachim. Joachim looks to Johnson in the box. Marcus Johnson, get in there, my son. Last year's youth intake just made himself a hero. Fantastic finish there from Johnson, and that keeps our playoff hopes alive right there. Well, good build-up play. Ulrich to Joachim. Joachim doesn't get many assists, but that's a decent little ball in the box, and what an emphatic finish there from Marcus Johnson. All right, I'm going to risk it here. I'm going to leave it on attack now for the last 10 minutes of the game. We're going to give it a go. Might as well. They're also down to 10 men. So let's try and take advantage of that. There's Wiltshire, Bulgars Box and Yeomans. Brennan should make the clearance easy now for Farnborough, but there's still time to get a goal here. Smith can't dawdle there, son. Britt hits it long, looking for Joachim. Can't find him. Strong intercepts it. All right, come on, boys. Just got 5 minutes to go. Get yourselves a goal there. So Strong hits it long over Brennan. Smith does well to read it, intercept it. There's Austin. Austin to Childs. Long highlight here, which means it's going to end up in a clear-cut chance for someone. Hopefully it will go to us, of course. There's Strong again. Ball goes long. Forbes is now through on goal. He's got support in the box. Shoots. Good save there from Will Britt. I thought that was going to cross it in there. And that would have been an easy chance for the striker to put Farnborough ahead. Finchie does well to make the clearance, and that probably should be the end of the highlights. I don't expect this to continue. All right, so we're just about out of time here. In fact, 1 extra time on extra time itself. 1 minute extra on extra time, I should say. And it's finished 1-1. Fair result. If you look on paper here, match stats pretty even across the board. Not a bad display from the boys. Marcus Johnson coming off the bench, making himself a hero today with a very, very good finish. Promising young player, 16-year-old, definitely developing into a nice piece for us. Joachim got assist as well. Apart from that, Smith had a good game at left back. Not much more to say apart from that. We were playing catch-up the entire game. Cheap penalty. Kind of gave it away. But you know what? Decent performance, and it's something to build upon. This obviously formation can work for us, so we're going to build upon it, because the 4-5-1 was starting to slack a little bit, and the AI was starting to adapt to my 4-5-1 formation. So it's good to have a backup, or at least start developing a second tactic. So with that in mind, after that game, we have what? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... we've got 11 games to go in this season, which probably brings us about 2 more episodes forward. So what we're going to do is we'll skip to the Biggleswade and Redditch game, and hopefully we'll still be in the hunt for the playoffs at that point. And then after that, we'll talk about the run-in, depending on how the season is going. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember to leave a like on it. If you want to see more videos by me in the future, please go hit subscribe, turn notifications on. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys in the next part. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.